Hello and welcome back to another video from me and Mad About Hoovers. Now, this is the first video I've done for about a month. I think it was the last one I did was the end of January, early February I think it was, and I've had a bit of a break from the channel for a while, and I thought today it's time we had another video. And the one I've been planning was the 3-month review for the V6 Absolute, which I bought in early December last year, and I've been using this machine quite regularly for the last 3 months. I've followed all the guidelines in the instruction book regarding how to look after this and maintain the filters. And I always made sure that I emptied it after every use, and what I did was to collect all the dirt that this machine's picked up, and also the V8 as well, and the V6 Trigger Pro in this bucket here. So rather than empty it into the bin and going outside with it, I've all emptied it and collected it all in this bucket to show basically what these battery vacuum cleaners have picked up from my house over the last 3 months, and it's quite impressive actually. We'll be looking at that shortly. I have put a little bit of that down in the front room there, so we can do a bit of a pick-up test in there with it again, because I know people like to see these things picking up dirt. Now, formally, that in there is not going to be a big mess test today. It's just basically some of what was in that bucket that I've put back down on the carpet there, just to show, for a bit of fun, this picking up the dirt. Now, my opinion of this V6 Absolute has been that it's one of my favourite vacuum cleaners ever. Now that's quite a claim to make, especially for me when I used to not particularly like Dysons very much in the past. I did like them from sort of the mid-2000s when I bought my first Dyson, which was a DC07 back in the early 2000s, and then I had a DC15, both of those from brand new, and I was quite pleased with those. But sort of the DC39, the DC40, I was never that popular, fond of, let's say, because of all the pliability in the handle, and I felt that they were just a little bit more flimsy than what I would have liked. Now, the latest Dyson, which is the light ball there, I've been very impressed with as well. And indeed, that is going to be due for a 6-month review next month. In April, I'll have had that for 6 months. So I will intend to do a 6-month review on the light ball come next month. I'm going to be doing a review on the V8, the V6 Trigger Pro, the Miele, what's it called now, the bagless Miele I've got over there in the corner. That's the Blizzard, yeah that's right, the CX1. Now, sometime very soon I'll be doing a 3-month review on that, because I've had that actually over 3 months now, and I have been using them all downstairs for the last 3 months. So basically, the rest of my vacuum cleaner collection upstairs hasn't really been seeing much use, so there hasn't been many videos on them from me over the last month. I sort of don't do as many big mess tests now because there's a channel called Johnny L8 that has been causing quite a bit of a stir in the vacuum cleaner community. They've been talking about him on Vacuum Land and also on some of the Facebook groups, particularly one of them that I'm a member of. And he's basically saying that big mess tests aren't representative of the true potential of vacuum cleaners, and they mislead the public. Now, whether you want to believe that or not is up to you, but I will take on board what he says, even though some of it I don't agree with, and any kind of pickup test that I do with my vacuum cleaners in the future will not be regarded as a big mess test as such as it's the true potential of a vacuum cleaner's ability. Let's put it that way, because big mess tests, let's face it, they're something a bit of fun, right, that people like to see, but they're not the sort of things that a vacuum cleaner would pick up in normal everyday use. So it's important to state that these big mess tests cannot be used to judge a vacuum cleaner's ability. They're just what they are, a bit of fun. Okay, they just make the video a little more interesting. So you know, I needed to say a few things on that one before we carried on, because I have seen these Johnny L8's videos, and other people have been watching them as well, and some of the stuff he says, okay, yes, it's applicable to me, because he has used screenshots from some of my videos where I've put big mess tests on my carpet, and he's installed them and edited them into his own videos. Now, he's very much a Dyson fan, so am I now. I do like Dysons, but they're not the be-all and end-all. I've got other machines and other manufacturers' machines in my collection. It's just that in the last few months I tend to have bought more Dysons than any other brand. So, anyway, that's a little bit of the chat out of the way. I have been accused by some people of waffling on and jabbering on a bit. People have been talking about me behind my back on Facebook that I found out about. There's other members that have criticised what I wear to do my tests, but basically, all I'm going to say, if you don't like my videos, don't watch them, right? Roger said the same on his channel. There's too many trolls out there that put negative comments on our videos, put us off filming, and destroy self-confidence. And I'm sick and tired of it, to be honest. Now, I'm going to name this person well, actually, no, I won't. I'm not going to do that. All I'm going to say is, if you feel like you want to put negative comments or mark the video down, then you can do so by all means, but I'll tell you now, I will just ban you from the channel, and you won't ever get the chance to comment again. Same as what other people are doing. If you're going to put nasty, personal comments about me, what I wear, how I do my videos, okay, don't watch them. The person that's done it has already been banned, so if he tries again, his comments are going to get nowhere. And all I'll do is just remove the user ratings, so you can't see them from the videos. I know this is rather negative, but I had to get it off my chest. It's one of the reasons why I haven't been uploading any videos in the last month, because of basically the way I've been made to feel by some of the viewers. But like, I've got nearly 1,000 subscribers now, so obviously a lot of people do like watching my videos, so I'm going to carry on with them. So, that said, that's the end of a bit of a rant there. I needed to get those things said. I know a few people might not agree with what I'm doing or saying, but that's too bad. So, this Dyson, this V6 Absolute, as I say, I've been using this pretty much every day. Between this one, the V8, any time that I didn't really want to get the mains powered vacuum cleaner out, I've made a point of using this. I've used it in my bedroom, used it all around the living room, on the chairs, I've even used it on my bed, on my mattress. And believe me, some of the stuff it gets off the bed is quite incredible as well, you wouldn't believe. The fine dust that it pulls out. These are actually very good to use, just pulling across your bed, where you put this on the end of here, and it's really good. So let's start this little review here with what you get basically in the package when it comes. We'll just run over the vacuum cleaner, have a look at its details, and I'll talk about it some more. So we'll get the camera down and we'll have a closer look. So here we go then. This is the V6 Absolute that has been, I think, now discontinued. You can't buy these now brand new. If you can, they're going to be quite expensive, I would imagine. Maybe you get them on eBay. But they're still on Curry's website, but they've had none in stock now for quite some time. So I think these now are no longer available brand new. So it's going to be a case of if you wanted one, you're going to have to get it off of eBay or maybe Amazon, second hand or refurbished. But they do make extremely good vacuum cleaners, and they've had very, very high write-ups from people that have done professional reviews. Now, when you do get one, what you get basically is the handheld unit itself. You get the wand in that lovely fuchsia pink colour, with the obviously the label on there, the V6 Absolute, and you get the what we call the direct drive motor head, which is not featured on all the V6 models. This one is a 50 watt power head, which is the most powerful one you can get on the V6 models. The Total Clean does come with one of these, but it's a 35 watt power head. I'm not sure if I can, if this is it worn off the bottom here now? Let's have a look, see if we can get in on that. My camera is not that brilliant, I'm afraid. I don't know if people can make out the wattage from that. but it is there. It does say 50 watts on there. And there we can see the underside of the brush roll there with its red bristles for carpets, and the black carbon fibre bristles, which are mainly used for dusting hard floors. So what we also get when we buy one of these brand new is a few tools that go with it. That's why it's called the Absolute, because it comes with rather than the fluffy head, you get a hard floor tool, which is basically this here, which has the squeegees underneath and the little wheels. You can select whether you want it on the normal suction there or on maximum suction. And all the max does basically is just pulls down a couple more of the blue rubber squeegees on the front. Now that's okay for doing hard floors, but it's a little bit narrow, to be honest. I did think that when I first had it. It's a fair bit smaller than the full-size head, but you can use the main head on hard floors as well as carpets, although it's not ideal. The fluffy head would be better if you get a machine with that on. Such as basically the fluffy head is this head here. This is the head that came with my V8 Total Clean, which is this machine here. But we're going to talk about that one in another video, so this one's mainly about the V6. What you also get is the mini turbo brush, the mini electrified head, which is used for doing the stairs, doing your car, doing the sofas. This one is rated at, again, this camera is absolutely hopeless. It's rated at 20 watts, this is, which is the same power rating as the fluffy head is as well. So it's not going to draw as much power off the battery as what that head will, being a 50 watt. You also get, as with all of the V6 models, the standard tools, which is the crevice tool here. I very rarely use the crevice tool, I must admit. It's the least used tool that I use with this machine. And you get the combination dusting brush and upholstery brush. This is the general use tool that you would use most, really, if you weren't going to use the power head. You can basically pull the brush back down to use that version of it, or you can push the brush back to the top and use it as a dusting brush. And it's really good, and it's a tool that I use an awful lot. But I do tend to use this more so on the V6 Trigger Pro that I keep in the kitchen there. And again, I'll have to do a review on that one as well for the 3-month review. So that's that. What you also get, if I just come in here, is the charging port, which I keep here. So you need to have it convenient to a socket. So here's my socket here with the charger is actually plugged in. The charger will come up the wall, feed into the back, but it'll run through the back of here and out into the charging jack at the top. And basically, you would slot the machine in. I'll just use the V6 Trigger Pro as an example of how you put it in. So basically, you just slot the top in, like so, and drop it down, and then you get the little blue light coming on to say it's charging, and once that blue light goes off, it's fully charged. And that takes about 3.5 hours from fully depleted to charge the battery. So let's just take that back out of there, because what I do, I swap and alternate the charger between this and the other one to save me having 2 chargers down here. So let's put that back there. So in terms of what do I think about its performance, now with it being a 2-speed model, you are able to have the max mode, which is 100 air watts of suction. And the max mode basically is selected by this little button on the back. So you basically turn the machine on with the trigger switch here. That's now in normal mode of 28 air watts. Put the maximum mode. Like so. So what the max mode does is it speeds the motor up to 100 air watts of suction from the 28 in the normal mode. But that does basically, it runs the battery down very, very rapidly having it in max. So you've only got about 6 minutes of use from fully charged to completely empty. If you're using it in max, you're going to get 6 minutes. Max doesn't affect the speed at which this goes round. That goes round at the same speed regardless of what suction you have. So that's always going to be using 50 watts. Alright? Now, some of the gripes that people have had with this have been over the emptying of the bin. And indeed, Dyson has addressed that with the V7 and V8 in that it has an easier way of emptying the bin, the hygienic bin emptying. But with this, I mean, I'm used to it now, but when you first have it, it can be a little bit fiddly to empty. And you'll see what I mean when I do this test in the front room, because it's going to basically fill the bin, and then I'm going to show how I would empty it, which might not be the same way as other people would do it, but I find it works for me. While we're on the subject of the main unit here, it has 2 filters. You've got your top filter here, which is your pre-motor filter, and exclusive to the Absolute model, and it only comes on the Absolute, is the exhaust HEPA filter, which is basically a little pleated filter built onto the back of the machine that you're able to twist off and remove, like so. And there you can see the pleats inside, which basically absorb any dust that gets through the pre-motor filter. Now, Dyson say that you are supposed to wash this every month, but I've not found that necessary, to be honest. It just doesn't seem to get dirty, and I've used this machine an awful lot. I've cleaned this thing religiously every month, the pre-motor filter, and as long as you do that, and you clean it properly and let it dry, then I can't really see how this would get dirty enough to need cleaning every month. So I think Dyson are just covering their own backs by telling people to do that. So basically you just wash it in a sink of water, or wash it under a tap and let it dry. This filter comes as standard on the V8. It has both models have this on the back, but the V7 in the UK doesn't come with this filter, and that just slots on and turns around like so. Your battery pack underneath here is your standard 21.6 volt, I think it is, battery pack, giving you the 20 minutes of run time on low power with no attachments on the end. If you've got your main head on, it'll run for about 16 minutes on low power or normal suction. Put it on max again, set 6 minutes. The trigger, you have to keep your finger on it all the time to keep it running. Some people have complained about that, saying that they'd like to have a trigger lock, but Dyson have not fitted one because they say basically you press the trigger only when you're actually needing it to clean, and then when you're not cleaning you release the trigger and it conserves battery life, which is pretty good idea, and I don't really find a problem with that. It's not hard to press it, it's very light and very responsive. On the back here you've got your little charging socket and another little tiny screw there. Basically, if you undo that screw, and then there's another one on the front of the battery will pull out of the bottom of the machine, enabling you to change the battery pack. So it is removable, but you just need to remove that screw, and there's one on the front of the battery pack there as well, which you can't see, but it's just hidden behind the bin. So the pre-motor filter is here. This is what you have to wash every month. Now you can see in here that I did wash it on about the 10th of last month, so it's coming up for another wash again this month. There's not a lot of dirt in there, but mainly the dirt is actually inside the filter rather than on the outside, because it sucks from the outside. Sorry, it sucks from the inside through to the outside. So this is always going to look fairly clean. The dirt is actually going to be hidden inside it, so don't be fooled. These do get a little bit dirty, so they do need to be cleaned. So always make sure you do it every month in a sink of water, or it's best to do it in a sink of water and just keep on lifting it in and out of the sink and letting the water run in and out to get all the dirt from the inside of this filter. You can see in here, or maybe you can't because it's not enough light here, but there is remnants of dust that do get through the cyclones, and that happens more on the low power, because on low power the cyclones don't spin as quickly, so they're not able to spin out the most fine dust. It's more efficient on high, on max, but like I say, the cyclones do let a small amount of dust through, and you can see that there. This is why you have to clean this every month, but it doesn't get blocked and clogged like some other machines would that rely on the filters, such as the Shark Ion Flex. their filters really do get dirty quickly. There we go, so let's just push that back down in there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this to pick up this little bit of dirt here. Again, I must stress it's not a big mess test. This is just a bit of the dirt that I've collected out of this bucket, and in there basically is everything that these cleaners have picked up over the last 3 months. And that's quite incredible really, when you think that's just a battery vac with 28 air watts. There's everything in there. It does work, and it works well. That's what I'll say. It's really surprised me just how effective this is and how they are so popular. So let's put this down on here. And we'll use it to pick all the dirt up. I'm going to do it on low power. There we go. So that has absolutely filled the bin to capacity. Now I know that the channel Johnny L8 has also said that this would constitute abuse of the vacuum cleaner, and it's not representative of what people would do, but actually it is, because a lot of people carry on vacuuming until it doesn't suck anymore. So I'm afraid this is how users do tend to use vacuum cleaners, and it has continued to pick up right until the bin is full. So basically the carpet's clear and it's all in the bin. So what we're going to do is empty it. Now this would be quite a difficult task with the V6 usually, because what happens is you would pull your trapdoor down. I'm going to put the camera down here and focus on the bin. There we go. So initially I'll just remove my the wand, so we've got it like this. And what Dyson says to empty it is that you can pull the lever down here and the bin will drop open, and then nothing happens because it's all still stuck inside the bin. So then you've got to start helping it out with your fingers. Now this is, you know, a lot of usual people would tend to overfill the machines in this manner. It's not supposed to happen. You're only supposed to fill it to the fill line. But even so, you still need to help out the dirt to out of the bin. So this will get it out so far. And then what I found is that if I use something like an Allen key, like this, an L-shaped Allen key, I can get at that at the side of here. Basically using the L shape of it to pull the dirt down from outside the shroud, quite easily, like so. This isn't ideal, but I have found that it works very well for me, and I also use that to clean off the shroud when it builds up on the shroud as well. So therefore, give it another little tap there. and you can see then when you tap it, all the fine dust that it's picked up through the cyclones will come out of this fine dust tube in the middle here. You've got to make sure you tap it to make sure you get all the fine dust out of this part. Okay. And that's basically how you empty it without having to take the bin off. A very small Allen key or the like just up the side will get all the dirt that's trapped up by the shroud out, just like so. If you do want to remove the bin, the easiest way of doing that, let me just check on time, we've got 3 minutes left. The easiest way of removing the bin is basically to pull your latch down, open the bottom, and then you have to pull it down again. At the same time, pull the back of the bin down, and then pull the front forwards and drop it down. Okay, and that then gives you access. If you wanted to, then you can use your brush like this. Use this little, that's just a basting brush, or you can get any kind of little brush and brush off all around the shroud. Like so. Also pay attention to this area up here. That area there where the two contacts are for the power head takeoff. You need to make sure that those are clean up in that area there and there's no fluff caught. So once you've cleaned off that, you grab our bin again, give that another tap over there. What you need to do first is to line the little hole in here with that lug on the front. So we put it up, line the lug up. Once that's lined up, click it in and push it back so it clicks on, and it's really easy. Once you've got the hang of it, you won't mind at all. So emptying it actually isn't as much of a nightmare as what people think once you get used to it. And I think I prefer the V6 over the V8, to be honest, because it's much lighter and I find it more nimble and agile to use than the V8. The V8's okay cleaner, but I still prefer to use the V6 even though it's more finicky with emptying. There we go. What we can do as well is when we want to maintain our machine is we can also remove the brush roll. Now we can do that just simply by undoing that there with a screwdriver or a coin, and then you pull the brush roll out, and there we can see the brush roll after 3 months of use. There's no sign on this one of the black carbon fibre bristles wearing away yet, but they do tend to do so quite often on these machines. I don't know exactly why they keep breaking, but after about a year you'll notice a lot of these, the black bristles, will start to wear away and snap off. You can get replacements for these, but it is one of the biggest weak points with these machines is these black carbon fibre bristles tend to wear away. The red bristles aren't affected, they last and last. It's just the black carbon fibre. So there we can see inside, it's a hollow brush roll all the way to the bottom. So you can clean that out nice and easily, and then basically you've got access. Then you can see your motor inside here. You can get yourself a cloth over the top of the motor to clean off the inside of here to get any dust out. There we can see the inside. Make sure you get any dust out that's accumulated underneath there, because that's the actual bearing, that part that spins round here. So you've got to make sure that spins freely and there's no dirt build up inside there. Right, on mine it's okay, but dirt can get in through the end and build up under here. And it's the same with that machine there, the light ball. So again, it's quite easy to put it back in. We can just slide it back in like so, and then do it up, and that's done. So it's very, very easy to remove your brush roll to get any obstructions or clogs out. And there we go. So as far as I'm concerned, this really is an excellent bit of equipment for your money. If you can get it still for around 200 to £300 mark, I'd say it's still a very good machine, as long as you can put up with that fairly short run time and the bit of the finicky emptying. But I still prefer this over the V8. So there we go. I'll see you again soon on the next video. So Bye for now.